There's a rumor going around that in this Wei kingdom, the throne may belong to the Zhang family in name, but in reality, it's the Tu family who holds the true power. And make no mistake, I am indeed a Tu. My father was the Grand Marshal of the military, a man who fought countless battles alongside the former emperor and earned numerous merits. Our mansion is filled with golden immunity tokens bestowed by the emperor himself. I often wonder if the emperor was simply too lazy to think of another reward when he granted my father those immunity tokens. I always carry one of my father's golden immunity tokens with me. Given my father's illustrious military achievements, I should be even more cautious in my own life. As they say, a tall tree catches the wind. But I can't help but feel resentful towards my older brothers. Each one is more capable than the last. My eldest brother is a general, my second brother is the Minister of Works, and my third brother is the Minister of Rights. They all rose to their positions through their own merit, passing the imperial examinations with flying colors and accumulating achievements bit by bit. The most unfortunate is my fourth brother. He had no ambition to be an official and instead chose to become a merchant. And look how successful he's become. According to my fourth brother, every single coin in Wei Kingdom should belong to our Tu family. I thought my brother was merely boasting. Until a year later, a famine struck, and the emperor ordered relief efforts. My father sent my fourth brother to distribute the relief funds, and to everyone's astonishment, the amount he disbursed far exceeded the emperor's allocation. I was forced to believe it. As for me, after giving birth to my brothers, my mother prayed to every deity, hoping for a daughter to complete the Tu family. My parents, my father, and my brothers cherished me as if I were a delicate porcelain doll, afraid of dropping or breaking me. When I was born, the former emperor issued 2 edicts, one to make me a princess and the other to arrange a marriage between me and the crown prince, destined to make me the future empress. However, my father only accepted the first edict. No matter what anyone said, he refused to let me enter the palace and instead arranged a marriage for me. This angered the former emperor. It took 5 of my father's immunity tokens to appease him. Eventually, the betrothal was cancelled, and I grew up over the years. Little did I know that I would fall in love with the new emperor. He was the same crown prince my father had rejected, but I couldn't escape this affection. I must enter the palace. My father, unable to refuse me, turned to the new emperor. However, this canine emperor, having firmly grasped the imperial power, declared that he would only grant me the position of a concubine, reserving the empress's position for his true love. Although he hasn't mentioned any such beloved at the moment. Even if he did, he wouldn't dare to give the empress's position to that woman. Because the power of the Tu family in the court still gives him pause. I know this, and my father knows it even better. He's merely feigning respect because I have a crush on him. Aside from my family background, I also possess talent and beauty. My father told me, only a blind man wouldn't like a woman like you. And it turns out he truly is blind. Don't ask me how I know, because I've been reborn. In my previous life, I wasted 10 years of my youth and died old in the palace. He wasn't incapable of love, but he didn't love anyone. In all of Wei Kingdom, there were countless beauties, yet he paid no attention to any of them. Isn't that strange? Even when I died, no one ever ascended to the position of empress. And speaking of which, in my previous life, I didn't harbor any deep resentments. So I don't understand why I was reborn. Although I have some doubts, the opportunity to live another life certainly fills me with joy. It's indeed good news. I've been reborn, and I've been given a second chance. But the bad news is, the moment I was reborn was the first day I entered the palace. In the end, I was destined to follow the same path and die an old woman in the palace, experiencing another lonely life. When I awoke, I was sitting on a bridal sedan chair, dressed in a grand red wedding gown. Twirling my fingers, I thought, I wonder, on this wedding day, if I were to regret my marriage and run back home, using the immunity token granted by the former emperor, would it have any effect? Although I wasn't entering the palace as an empress, my father and brothers feared that I would be mistreated, so all the ceremonies were carried out according to the empress's rites. Except for not wearing the phoenix crown to pay respects to heaven and earth. Everything else was quite similar. I lifted the veil, went to the table, sat down, and began to eat the breakfast that was placed on the table. Xiao Mai, the personal maid who came with my dowry, wanted to stop me when she saw me lifting the red veil. I waved my hand, signaling the others to back off, and pouted. Xiao Mai, I know the rules, but your young miss has been dressing me since morning. And I haven't eaten anything yet. Don't you feel sorry for me? Xiao Mai knew I was already tired enough today and couldn't bear to stop me, but she was still a bit worried. What if the emperor sees us like this, and dislikes you? If he truly likes me, whether I eat or not shouldn't be a problem, I replied. The breakfast had been sitting out for a long time and was both dry and hard. After looking around and not finding any tea, I poured myself a glass of wine and quickly drank it. Seeing Xiao Mai's frightened expression, I didn't want to scare her further. I comforted her. Don't worry, the emperor still has to entertain the court officials. His Majesty won't be here so early.